Hello my friends, Russell Wright from networkempire.com and themezoom.com. Those of you who know me know that I'm the co-inventor of the ThemeZoom Kraken natural language processing and vertical online keyword analysis suite. We're now launching Domain Web Studio 3.5 and 6. I'm really excited about it, and in celebration of this launch, I want to cover a new document and protocol that our team has come up with for SEO Ultimate, which is a WordPress plugin created by a friend and partner of ours. And it works with the Silo Blog Builder plugin, which is our easy export plugin that seamlessly integrates high-level vertical online keyword cluster research directly into your blog instantly so that you can fill in the content. And it's really cool. So we're going to go over that because there's been a huge demand for this information, and we do cover it more in a members area. First of all, if you want to get SEO Ultimate, you have to go to the WordPress safe directory for plugins and download it. Also, you can get it at the blog post associated with this presentation. If you're watching this on our blog, you can just look below. It's going to be in the article. If you're on YouTube, it'll probably be on the same article. Click through the link in the description and you'll be able to get directly to the plugin. Either way, the SEO Ultimate plugin is free, and that's just fantastic. And there's no charge for this particular plugin. The Silo Blog Builder plugin is not free. There's a one-time fee for it, and you also do have to be a networkempire.com Domain Web Studio Enterprise Outsourcing Tool member. So plugin created by longtime ThemeZoom associate. It works for many reasons. We're not going to get into the details of the SEO because, as many of you know, we're dealing with some pretty complex things, some really interesting things, and this is not a detailed function of how we arrived at these conclusions. If you want to know more about that, become a member of Network Empire private membership club and forum. It requires a special setup to work with our blog silo system, which is the Silo Blog Builder plugin. But it's a perfect match for that system. And the siloblogbuilder.com plugin works seamlessly with Domain Web Studio, which again is the online SEO, mass marketing, syndication, RSS feed syndication, mass outsourced team management, and mass online marketing management system. These recommendations I'm about to show you, they were created and audited by ThemeZoom expert, enterprise software architect Sue Bell. She's an SEO professional that is basically the brains behind the joint. She created the Kraken ThemeZoom application along with our developers. We consider her the architect. She's also behind making sense of the LSI, or natural language processing based work that originally became ThemeZoom 1.0 and Kraken. Those of you who've used our tool for years are avid fans. You know what we're talking about. So she's the one who's laid out these instructions. With this instruction, we assume that you have your blog set up to the upgraded, the latest version of WordPress, okay, and that you're getting ready to install our Ultimate Silo Blog Builder plugin, okay. And again, you can read more about that at siloblogbuilder.com or networkempire.com. So to find out more about it there. So, step one, your permalinks. Make sure that you have your permalink set on the page and select the custom structure. And again, the default is percentage category, percentage post name. This is pretty common, so this is something that you're going to want to do. And again, we do have these instructions laid out on PDF and other formats. Step two is install SEO Ultimate. This is a typical SEO plugin for WordPress install. Once you download it off the Safe Plugin site, you're going to need to install that. And you can even type SEO in the search bar inside your blog. If you'd rather not go to the safe WordPress site, you can go right within your control panel. Since it is a safe plugin, it'll come up already in your WordPress search function during the plugin area or search for plugins. Okay. Choose module settings. Here's where it gets interesting. You're going to need to change your plugin settings as soon as it's installed. Menu bar SEO modules. Okay. You're going to disable the slug optimizer and the link box inserter, and you're going to enable the meta keywords editor and the no follow manager. Okay, and this should be really, really clear. We have a special reason why you want to do this. Okay, and these are default settings. This is not to say that we're using no follows anymore. Okay, but this is just the way in order for us to set up and utilize the Silo plugin with this system. You need to do it this way. Step four is to modify the modules. These are the modules that come in the SEO Ultimate. I wouldn't recommend SEO Ultimate to anyone if they're not following these kinds of steps and they're not aware of what it should be. What you want to do is you want to click on the modules. Canonical, okay, that's for canonization, and this is the settings are right here. Just go to the general link. Okay, click on the module to update. Send REL, that's the relative canonical, and then the redirect request for non-existent pagination. Permalink tweaker, remove URL based, okay, put that one, and then the URL conflict resolution. set to page instead of term archive. Okay, and then save those changes. So those are going to be the module settings. All right, it'll make more sense when you're actually inside your blog. Step 5 is the Deeplink Juggernaut settings. The Deeplink Juggernaut settings should be available to you. Okay, you're going to want to have your siloing. You want posts, categories, and tags. That's the main thing. It's posts, categories, and tags. And you don't add any more than 2 sublinks per post or page, and you don't link the same anchor text any more than 1 times per post or page. That's the key to this deep juggernaut. I've seen a lot of people who have this wrong kind of settings, so make sure that you follow Sue's recommendation. Step 6, delete hello world. Okay, that's insofar as they continue to include hello Dolly and hello world, just go ahead and trash that. Step 7 has a couple things, but disable comments. You want to go to the menu bar, settings, discussions, unclick the first three settings under default article settings. Okay, so default article settings should be unclicked. Unclicked all others with the exception of the bottom 2 results. Really a moot point because no one can comment anyway. All right, because of the way we have the settings. But she does put it on here as before a comment appears. She just want to make sure that in case anybody has any weird things installed, the administrator must always approve the comment. The comment author must have a previously approved comment, and you should just get in the habit of having this set anyways for the most part, unless you're doing WR2 blogs where you have mass affiliate, or if you take my video curation course or anything else that's coming out, when I'm doing mass video blogging, which generates traffic pretty much out of thin air, you're going to want to have comments pretty much controlled. So that would be you would want your comments to be set to be open when you're extracting YouTube comments and then inserting affiliate or ClickBank links into them. So that's a little bit different topic. I don't teach that publicly. So your default setting for your WR1 sites or your money sites should really be before comment appears right here. Change default category for blog posts. That's pretty straightforward. Menu settings writing from drop-down menu, change from end categorized to main silo. Hit save changes. Step 9, reading settings. Blog role page. Menu bar settings reading. Front page display is what you're going to want to focus on here. If the blog is intended to serve as both a website and a blog, all within this one WordPress instance, you will need to create a static home page for the front landing page and create static blog page for the blog and select the appropriate home page for the front and the blog page for the posts page. Your home page will introduce your site, and you can link to your most important silos from within the text. So what she's saying here is that you can use a blog platform for a couple different things. You can treat it as a website intro with a blog role, which is really what people do when they have 2 separate domains and they have one as a blog and one as a site, or you can use it either way. If it's only a blog, no need to change anything since the post will be listed as the homepage of the blog by default. Okay, so your feed content, change the feed default from full text to summary and hit the save button. Okay, and we'll talk more about this a little bit. This has to be summary if you're going to be using the Silo Blog plugin. If you're not using the Silo Blog plugin and you're taking any of my curation courses and you're taking my one feed RSS courses, there are times when you might want to have your blog in full. But if you're using our blog plugin, our Silo plugin, you're going to need to have this to summary for a couple different reasons, which we won't get into here. Okay, so here's the little area where it shows you your latest posts. The way that she has this set here is blog pages show at most 10, 10, and it doesn't look to me like she has the full text. Looks like here she has full text set. Let me go back. So we need to change this. Okay, this is an error. Alright, that's okay. Just get rid of that here. Change the feeds from full text to summary and then hit save. So what we really need to do is hit this as a summary. Okay, that's fine. So the summary is where you want to go. We'll get and fix that slide. There's a lot of stuff going on here, guys, so I'm just trying to make sure it's clear. Privacy settings. Always search engines to index this site, obviously. Okay? So you want to be indexed until you can remain unindexed while you're in launch phase. And if you're following the perpetual lead magnet machine system, you're aware that there's various launch phases. I don't recommend that you're live for spiders until you bypass that phase of the launch phase. Step 11, widget settings. Configure default widgets. This is very important, otherwise the silo process won't work. Menu bars, appearance as widgets. You probably want to keep the search widget. Remove these widgets, the category, the recent posts, the archives, the links if they exist. If you're using anything weird like that or anything normal like that, you need to remove it because we're covering a lot of what those things would do for you. These bleed the theme by connecting pages that don't directly relate to each other. Okay, not the end of the world, but we really want to keep you focused if you're using the Silo Blog plugin. Typically, we remove meta widgets as well. Widgets generally update immediately, but if save change is available, then save that. Most of those widgets should update immediately. Update general settings. Optionally, change or delete the tagline. With any themes or logos, with many themes and logos, this image can make the header look kind of funky. Okay, that's true. So you need to. It really depends on what theme you're working with, and most themes that we've tried work well with our Silo Blog plugin. So just keep that in mind. But again, you're going to have to test your settings a little bit and check to see. Depending upon how you install the blog, you might need to update the URL addresses by adding a www after the HTTP. I recommend that you do add a www, but create consistency with your blog. That's going to be under your general settings. So that's the 12 easy steps. And so let's go over a couple of things. Why use Silo Blog architecture? Well, website architecture still works. You can find out more about at silouniversity.com, where we have our wiki updates. Panda and Penguin updates are mostly about non-thematic, crappy content networks losing their authority and undermining the money sites that depended upon those backlinks. People say it had to do with the anchor text over-optimization. There's stories about too many perfect, too many inbound links from the same keyword and this kind of thing. We've done testing. We've talked to a lot of people. I find that it had to do with crappy anchor text over-optimization, which includes crappy sites that attempted to use our website Silo methods. Now, what's really interesting is that we have had people who had Silo networks that got hit pretty hard with Penguin. Some of them were even pretty much de-indexed. There's several things in common with those. Crappy backlinks from sites that have no dynamic content density. I was talking about dynamic content density in the early 2000s. That means updates. This is why content curation is so popular. And you can take my curationprofits.com course if you want to learn more about it. Keep the pinging happening. Keep content being updated. Keep your site alive with social activities, with blog rolls, with different kinds of things that you can be updating with. This is why content curation software plugins like Refreshinator, which I'm not recommending, these types of things are coming out into the market because you need to constantly be giving a signal back to the search engines that something's going on. The search spiders, that there's change happening on the site. They're now looking for dynamic content. All right, and this is important stuff. So this is what we found, is that there's really not a lot of concern about this as long as you're not using the same keyword. And the whole purpose of Domain Web Studio is to prevent that from happening. We actually track the diversification of your synonyms across multiple networks and platforms. You can do that on any network, and you're not going to over-optimize with one given word to a particular landing page. I mean, it's just, we've known that for years, and Penguin just proved it. So that's really kind of what we're looking at. Silo architecture controlled demolition. Here's a quick example. The recent site that I intentionally demolished the silos as I was making some changes on the site. You can see a major drop in my impressions. Nothing to be said here for the actual click-through rate, because that's a whole different topic. It's not that great either. But the point is that you can watch the actual impressions drop when you remove silos. Or, again, I didn't remove the pages. I changed around the way that the spiders index and see the site. You can see that it was really problematic if I had not done this intentionally. Okay. We also have Silo Architect for a professional client. Paid us a decent chunk of change to look at his live site. We combined curation and RSS feed with Silo website, Silo architecture. We had a 2,000% increase in traffic right during the Penguin issues. Okay, so we're looking at massive increase of visitors, 2,500 visitors per day, up from an average of 75 unique visitors per day. Just within a period, it's really quite extraordinary what we saw just when we changed the individual infrastructure. And then the client had to deal with time on site and other things like that. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you. And if there's any clarification required, we do recommend that you look at our other sites. There's more detailed instructions and updates. If anything on this slide presentation changes, for example, we saw the full summary versus the text summary, I'm going to update that slide and the rest. That'll be inside the members area. You can visit us at networkempire.com. And if you want to just get a little sneak peek about what's in there, you can go to networkempire.com/members-area. Bottom line is it's very inexpensive to become a member, even if you're not using our enterprise level software system. to manage your team and outsource, whether everything from Fiverr to backlinking systems. It can all be organized, diversified, researched, and included into a campaign that you can outsource in a very control-oriented way. So if you're not interested in using the software, you can become a member, and the members area will have everything that we need and that you need. And very specifically, if you want to see updates to the blog setup and manual instructions that we're showing you here, you just go inside the members area, and if you're a paid member, you'll see Silo plugins or Silo plugin Empire. This is how to deal with multiple blogs using dynamic content and our website Silo plugin system. You do have to have Network Empire if you're going to use these heavier plugins, but I have to say that if you can understand how the SEO Ultimate plugin is working, even if you're not using our Silo blog plugin, and even if you're not using Domain Web Studio, you may want to consider understanding what is happening with that plugin and carefully organizing it. We do not have a cheat sheet that incorporates how to use SEO Ultimate without our stuff, because we just wouldn't use it without our stuff very often, or we would use it in a different way. And we might be able to give you an update on that, but that's not the function of this video, but we will keep you informed. One of the reasons I like SEO Ultimate is it doesn't slow down the blog. There's a few other plugins out there that give you a specific rating when you're plugging. It says you are 43% optimized, 47% optimized. We're using, when I do a test to see how the plugins slow down the site, a lot of these other SEO plugins really slow down the optimization of the site and the load time, all these other things. You're not going to have that kind of problem with SEO Ultimate, and we'll continue to test and watch how it's working. Again, we know the developer of this, so that's important for us. Hopefully you understand where we're coming from. If you want to find out more, go ahead and visit about these sites. Silo Blog Builder, that's the plugin that we're preparing you to use by giving you this setup instruction. NetworkEmpire.com, it's a site we're preparing. That's the Domain Web Studio site that is really about mass client outsourcing, how to manage multiple campaigns, everything from email campaigns to press release to backlinking on a massive scale, so that you never over-optimize in the way that Penguin really came down with, and allows you to outsource all of it and control the hours and the successful implementation of your outsourcing team, whether you should hire or fire somebody who's just not fulfilling their commitments. It's a major application. We have tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in it. So this is why I'm preparing you guys for this new release. Keep up with my related industry news if you want at networkempirenews.com. That's my curation site, and that's where my mass feed syndication network goes out to the industry. So I hope this makes sense to you. We look forward to seeing you on the inside.